Well, hello, Taurus. Sorry. Welcome to your mid December reading. Hope you are amazing. So, I actually did the reading for Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, and there was no sound. So, apologize about that. Everything else I did that day had sound. Who knows? Who knows what happened? But we're here. And I apologize about that. So, we are going to get right into your reading and see what we have for you, Taurus. Let's see. Okay, we have prostitute. Insinuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. You know what? This is interesting because it talks about compromise. Um, it talks about compromise, but compromise within spectrum. Like you're not giving up a part of yourself and who you are and your beliefs, but you're learning how to collaborate, okay, with others, collaborate with, the situation, okay, to sort of create what you want, you know, shift your perception. Ooh, I like that. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. It's not to be used to triumph over others, it's power. Okay. Taurus, mid December. Hostilities. Noticing some sort of conflict, anxiety, what to do about that conflict. And this may be with friends, family, coworkers. So I'm going to put that here. And then the world. Okay, we have Milky Way, perceptive, volcano, vol- volatility, and grandfather sky. Okay. Sorry, that wasn't feeling right for me. Okay, so we have Two of Cups, Five of Swords, Ace of Swords, the World, the Sun, as you see, flipped out. That's your center card. Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands, Judgment, and Two of Coins. The importance of balance, I see you're learning. Okay, so right in the center, we have the Sun. The Sun is the aha moment. It's where everything is revealed to you, what needs to be revealed to you. Everything is sort of out in the open for you. Um, I feel like secrets not from other people, but more secrets about situations are being revealed. It just feels like things are opening up for you. Um, it feels like it's understandable. So I see that you're learning a lot, Taurus, about relationships, intimate friendships, connections with others. You're learning how important it is to keep the balance, how important it is to have that balance, to you, to them, to the situation at hand. It's like if you're having issues with your coworkers and you figure out how to resolve that, it makes the work experience better for you, you know? I also see clarity of thought, aha moments. Definitely when it comes to relationships and connections with others. Um, I see a balance between coworkers, others, and yourself, right? So you can be important. You can love yourself. You can be, what's the word that I want to use? You can be passionate about yourself and the things that are going on in your life, but also to have respect for others. I feel like both of these things are not closed. Like you don't have to do one and the other. You can do both together. There's a sense of understanding about that, and balancing finances, understanding that finances, money, prestige is not everything. That's another thing that I see here. Okay. So let's get into it. I see you balancing, not balancing, but kind of assessing your situation emotionally when it comes to relationships with others, right? Versus how it is now and how it was in the past, and kind of trying to figure out what happened in between there. It's almost like there was some sort of argument or disconnect as far as how both parties see things, right? And it's like, how important is it to you to be right? How important is it to you to be on top, when you lose everything? And I feel like that's what you're seeing. It's like you can be right and you can overpower someone else or a situation, but necessarily being alone in that, is it worth it, right? But the answer is no. The answer is you don't want the hostility. You don't want the trouble. Some people strive off of like volatility or like anger, like, oh, they don't want me to do this, I'm going to do it anyway. That type of feeling. But I feel like that's not useful for you, Taurus. Like it can help you a little while, but then you start to feel lonely. And I feel like there's a wanting to look at the bigger picture about things and seeing how important it is to connect or to have some sort of compromise when it comes to things. You've gained a lot of knowledge from this situation, and I feel like that gives you an aha moment of looking at things in a different perspective with that in mind. Okay. You're in the process of leaving the old into the new. Okay. You're being more caring when it comes to your emotions, more nurturing, more open, more connective, or connecting to your emotions and your feelings. This would be a good time to start investigating the feelings/emotion wheel, whichever one you like to call it, and learning how to distinguish those two, distinguish learning how to distinguish those feelings and where they're coming from, like their origin story. And I feel like that would give you a lot more insight into yourself and others. Okay. Not being very versed in feelings and emotions tends to drive you down a direction of bad choices or bad decisions. And I feel like you've seen that and you want to be smarter about these. You don't want to have to go through these hostilities. You don't want to have to worry about what's going to happen if this happens, but I'm right. Like I feel like you don't want to go through this whole story again. Um the thing is, when you don't feel like you're being heard or understood, it makes you angry, right? And it makes you lash out, and then you're back in this cycle again. And I feel like you just want to end the cycle, like it's not useful. I do see you becoming very confident in expressing your emotions or being with your emotions than you have been before. Emotions don't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be useless. They can be useful to you. You're just learning how to evaluate them and how to react properly to these emotions. Learning how to step back or learning how to be quiet instead of exerting your judgment onto others, whatever that means for you. And I feel like you're balancing what is important. So, others and career, work, and feelings, self care, spending time with others. You're doing a lot of balancing things. And I do feel like you're doing a lot of self care as well. Self care would be great for you moving forward. Okay. So, let's get a little bit more. Your idea around money and career is changing. Um, you're connecting more with people and less with material goods moving forward. And that's the best decision you can make emotionally. It's so interesting because people don't think that their emotions impact their decision making, their choices, the way they communicate, their mindset, but it really, really does. And this is one aspect I feel like that you are resolving. I'm going to say resolving. Okay. Because that's what it feels like to me. Okay. There's a sense of weakness or vulnerability in your connections with others or in a relationship. And it needs to be strengthened. It needs to be worked on. And what this means is like there needs to be a deep dive and then like some conversation, some analyzing, some introspection into relationships with others. There is some truth about how you nurture relationships that is going to come to surface. Um, and you have to sort of suppress your ego enough to hear and apply. Okay. You're going to have a realization this month about your happiness and what really makes you happy. And interesting enough, the people around you being happy with you also applies to your happiness. I'm not saying that you need it, right? But you see how it helps. There's a balance, there's a sense of balance here. And that's going to help you make the right decisions and communicate properly moving forward. You're leaving behind some bad choices. Some bad choices not based on not being aware, because now you are aware. Hence the sun being in the middle, hence the realization, hence the aha moment, and how to communicate that properly. Yeah, I feel like you see how it's affecting your life moving forward, your stability, your career, your long term relationship. You see how it's affecting that, and wanting that to change for the better, because who wouldn't, right? There's some realization about you don't have to always be right. You don't have to always be the one on the top. It's more important to be like to see clearly, like to not have fog, instead of just sort of bogarting your way through. It's nice to be able to see where it is you're going, to be okay with the choices that you make, with the direction that you're going in. It's something about comfort. Comfort. So I feel like this is dealing with sort of some narrow mindedness in a situation or in life. Yeah, being able to make clear decisions, moving forward with love and compassion and openness, is really going to help you express what you've been trying to express outwardly all along. It's so interesting, Taurus, because I tell you this all the time, but inside of you, you have really good intentions. You do. I always see them. Your intentions are very good. It's just being expressed or coming out or communicating in a harsh or aggressive way sometimes. And I feel like you're going to be able to get out of those illusions and create what you've been trying to do or say. But you just it's like learning how to communicate with different types of people. You don't go in one room uh, full of people and say one thing and the other one and say the same. You kind of have to. It's like reading your audience. There we go. Like reading your audience. Okay. And this knowledge, this understanding is going to last you quite a while. I feel like it's going to be in your repertoire probably to the end of days. Okay. So it's time to release negativity. That's exactly. So close out that idea of perfection and I'm always right and control, and lashing out. It's not getting you anywhere. So we have crossroads, book, so, and whip has came out for every single earth sign. Interesting. Okay. So about this is spirit's energy communicating. So what I'm seeing here is you had to go through these tough times so you could make a choice to open up to something different, to change your perspective, to actually look for something. It had to get hard in order for you to want to switch directions. Okay. And now you're taking everything that has happened and trying to gain knowledge. And I feel that here. I feel the epiphany. I feel the aha. I feel the understanding. And now you're applying it. And the whip talks about things being hard. It's like the devil card almost, right? So it's something you have been doing for a long time or something that has sort of been intertwined in you. And you're learning how to undo that knot. And that's going to take some time, but you just have to be consistent. Okay. So Taurus, I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.